You tried gentle parenting. You got down on their level. You validated the feelings. You stayed calm. And somehow, you ended up with a tiny dictator running your entire household, melting down the second they hear the word no. So you decided gentle parenting is soft, permissive nonsense that just doesn't work. I want to gently push back on that because here's the truth. What most people actually try and what most critics are actually mad at isn't gentle parenting at all. It's permissive parenting wearing gentle parenting's clothes. The two look almost identical for about 5 seconds. And then they go in completely opposite directions. So let me draw the line for you, clearly, with real examples. Because once you can see where gentle ends and permissive begins, the whole approach suddenly starts to work. Start with the single biggest mix-up, the one that trips up almost everyone. People hear that gentle parenting means acknowledge your child's feelings. And somewhere along the way, they conclude that if my child is upset, I must have done something wrong. So they cave. Picture it. It's 20 minutes before dinner. Your kid wants candy. And the moment you say no, they detonate. The permissive move, dressed up as gentle, sounds like this. I hear you. You're so sad. Oh, sweetheart. Okay, just one piece. You validated the feeling and then you handed over the exact thing the meltdown was demanding. The genuinely gentle move starts almost the same and then holds firm. You really, really want that candy. And waiting is so hard, I know. And it's still no. Dinner is in 10 minutes. Same warmth, opposite ending. Why does that distinction matter so much? Because empathy is about the feeling, and the boundary is about the behavior. And those are two completely separate things. You are allowed to fully understand why your child is upset and still not give them the thing. The mistake, the one that quietly turns gentle into permissive, is believing a child's distress is proof you were too harsh. So you reverse the limit to make the crying stop. All that teaches is that a big enough meltdown can reopen any closed door, which leads straight into the thing critics never seem to realize gentle parenting actually has: boundaries. Clear ones, consistent ones, non-negotiable ones. The gentle part was never the absence of limits. It's the way you deliver and hold them, with warmth instead of fear, with respect instead of shame. Permissive parenting is the one that's actually missing the boundaries. Picture two houses. In the permissive house, the rule quietly changes based on how hard the kid pushes. So the kid simply learns to push harder. In the gentle house, the rule stays exactly where it is, calmly, warmly, even right through the storm. So the kid eventually learns that the rule is real and stops throwing themselves at it. And here's the part that surprises people. Children actually feel safer with firm, predictable limits. An unlimited world is a genuinely scary place for a small person. The boundary is a wall that holds them in. Take it away, and they feel like they're falling. The mistake is thinking gentle means giving kids whatever keeps the peace in the moment. That isn't gentle. That's abdicating. And kids can feel the difference immediately. Now here's a trap that catches the most well-meaning, thoughtful parents of all. Gentle parenting encourages explaining the why behind a limit. So parents over-explain. And a calm explanation quietly slides into a full-blown negotiation. Picture bedtime. You explain why sleep matters. They counter. You explain again. They offer you a deal. 20 minutes later, you are litigating bedtime with a 5-year-old like it's an international hostage situation. Be honest. How many of you have found yourself at 9 at night genuinely debating the merits of one more episode with someone who cannot yet tie their own shoes? Drop a yes in the comments. We have all been there. And here's the thing. That back and forth isn't connection. It's a filibuster. And your child will out-stamina you every single time. You can absolutely give the reason once. But a boundary that's open to endless debate isn't a boundary anymore. It's an opening bid. Say it. Say it kindly, say it once, and then let it stand. The mistake is treating your child's persistence as a sign you owe them a better argument. You don't. Warmth first, and then the wall. And this next one is where the soft voice fools people, including us. Gentle parenting is delivered calmly. So people quietly assume calm means soft, and soft means anything goes. But a quiet no is still a no. You can say, "We're not buying the toy today," in a completely warm, unbothered voice and mean it with total steel underneath. Calm is the tone, firm is the substance. Permissive is when that calm voice has nothing behind it at all, when it's really just quietly hoping the child decides to agree with you. Here's why it matters. Kids read the certainty underneath your words far more than the volume of them. A shaky, "please just cooperate" calm is basically an invitation to push. A settled, "this is simply how it is" calm is what ends it. The mistake is confusing a gentle delivery with a gentle, meaning optional, limit. You can be soft and completely immovable at the very same time. And the best gentle parents almost always are. So here is the line, the one sentence that separates gentle from permissive once and for all. Gentle parenting holds the boundary and the feelings at the same time. Permissive parenting drops the boundary to make the feelings go away. That's the whole thing, right there. When your child is falling apart because you said no, gentle parenting says, "I can love you and understand you and sit right here with you in this hard feeling and still not move the limit." Permissive parenting says, "Your feelings are so big that I will remove the limit to make them stop." One holds both at once. The other sacrifices the boundary just to escape the discomfort in the room. If that finally made it click, save this video, because you are going to want that exact line in your back pocket the next time you're standing in a grocery store aisle wondering whether you're being too strict or too soft. And here's what it looks like when you get it right. You hold the limit warmly. Your child rages, you stay steady and kind. And over time, they get the best of both worlds. The security of knowing the rules are actually real, and the safety of knowing your love doesn't flinch when they're at their absolute worst. That is the entire promise of gentle parenting, and it only works when the boundary stays put. One honest note: getting this right is genuinely hard, and you will cave sometimes. Everyone does. Gentle parenting was never about being perfect. It's about aiming for warm and firm together and finding your way back whenever you slip. So let's make the line crystal clear. Empathy is not agreement. You can validate the feeling and still hold the limit. Gentle parenting keeps firm boundaries. Permissive parenting is the one that's actually missing them. Explaining once is fine, but a boundary you'll debate forever isn't really a boundary. A calm no is still a no. And at the heart of all of it, gentle parenting holds the boundary and the feelings at the same time, while permissive drops the boundary just to make the feelings go away. Now, I genuinely want to hear from you. Did you try gentle parenting and feel like it wasn't working? Tell me in the comments where it went sideways, because I'd bet money it's one of these 5. And if this finally cleared it up, subscribe, because next time we're getting tactical. Exactly what to say in the first 10 seconds of a tantrum, the words that calm it right down, and the ones that pour gasoline on the whole thing. I'll see you there.